My dear friends, imagine yourself seated here, in this very moment, fully aware of the immense power that resides within you. Can you feel it? That gentle stirring in your heart, that whisper in your mind telling you that you are more than what you see in the mirror. That, my dear, is the voice of your true self, the God within you, urging you to awaken to your divine nature. Tonight we shall embark on a journey of self-discovery, a journey that will lead you to the realization that the only person truly worthy of your undivided attention is yourself. For in focusing on yourself, you unlock the door to infinite possibilities and step into the realm of your desires made manifest. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. The world you see around you is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. Every person, every circumstance, every triumph, and every setback is but a mirror showing you the contents of your own consciousness. When you waste your time focusing on external matters, on the actions of others, on the opinions of the world, you are merely chasing shadows, my friends. You are looking at the reflection and forgetting the source. But I say unto you, turn your gaze inward, for it is within that you will find the wellspring of all creation. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and it is time you claimed your rightful place on that throne. Now some of you might be thinking, but Neville, how can focusing on myself be the answer? Isn't that selfish to you? I say this, there is no greater act of love, no greater service to the world than to realize the God within you. For when you focus on yourself, truly focus on your inner being, you are focusing on God. And in doing so, you elevate not just yourself, but all of creation. Consider for a moment the amount of time you spend each day worrying about things beyond your control. The hours wasted in idle gossip, in comparing yourself to others, in fretting over what might be. Can you see now how this is a misuse of your divine creative power? Every moment spent in such futile pursuits is a moment stolen from your true purpose to imagine and create the life you desire. My friends, the time has come to stop this wasteful behavior. The time has come to redirect your attention to where it truly belongs, to your imagination, to your inner world, to the God within you. For it is only by doing so that you can hope to change your outer world. Let me share with you a profound truth. Your imagination is the very workshop of God. It is the place where all things are conceived before they are born into the physical world. When you focus on yourself, on your inner world, you are essentially focusing on this divine workshop. You are learning to use the tools of creation that have been bestowed upon you. Imagine for a moment that you are a skilled craftsman. Would you waste your time watching others work, criticizing their techniques, or worrying about their output? Of course not. You would focus on your own craft, owning your skills, perfecting your art. This is exactly what I am asking you to do in your life. Your life, my dear friends, is your craft. Your consciousness is your workshop. Your imagination is your most potent tool and the product of your craft. It is nothing less than the reality you experience. So I ask you, why waste your precious time and energy on anything else? Why dilute your focus with trivial matters when you have the power to shape your entire existence? Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, how do I begin this journey of self-focus? How do I stop wasting my time? The answer, my friends, is simpler than you might think. It begins with a shift in your awareness, a conscious decision to turn your attention inward. Start by becoming aware of your thoughts. Notice how often your mind wanders to external concerns, to what others are doing, to past regrets or future anxieties. Each time you catch yourself in such thoughts, gently but firmly bring your attention back to yourself, to the present moment, to your inner world. This practice, simple as it may seem, is the foundation of all change. For you see, your outer world can only change when your inner world changes first. And your inner world can only change when you give it your undivided attention. As you begin to focus more on yourself, you will start to notice the immense power that has always been within you. You will begin to see that the circumstances of your life are not random occurrences, but direct manifestations of your inner state. This realization, my friends, is the key to unlocking your true potential. For when you understand that your inner world creates your outer world, you will naturally want to spend more time cultivating your inner garden. You will want to focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding that this is the most effective way to create positive change in your life and in the world around you. Now let us delve deeper into what it truly means to focus on yourself. It is not, as some might believe, about indulging in every whim or desire. It is not about becoming self-centered in the negative sense of the word. No, focusing on yourself is about becoming intimately acquainted with your true nature, with the God within you. It is about understanding that you are not separate from the creative power of the universe, but an integral part of it. It is about recognizing that the same force that creates worlds and moves planets flows through you, waiting to be directed by your conscious mind. When you truly focus on yourself, you begin to see that your desires are not random or trivial. They are divine impulses, urging you towards the full expression of your true self. Each desire is a seed planted in your consciousness by God, waiting for you to nurture it with your attention and bring it to fruition. So I say to you, stop wasting your time on frivolous pursuits. Stop squandering your divine creative power on worry, doubt, and fear. Instead, turn your focus inward and tend to these seeds of desire within you. Water them with your imagination, nourish them with your faith, and watch as they grow into the beautiful reality you have always dreamed of. Remember, my dear friends, that time is the most precious resource you have. Each moment is a gift, an opportunity to create, to grow, to become more of who you truly are. When you waste your time focusing on external matters, on things you cannot control, you are essentially rejecting this gift. You are saying to the universe, I do not value this opportunity you have given me. But when you focus on yourself, when you direct your attention to your inner world, you are honoring this gift. You are saying, I recognize the power within me, and I choose to use it wisely. This, my friends, is the true meaning of gratitude. It is not merely saying thank you for what you have, but using what you have been given to its fullest potential. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I have responsibilities. I have a job, a family, obligations. How can I focus on myself without neglecting these to you? I say this focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring your duties or isolating yourself from the world. It means performing all your actions from a place of inner awareness, from a state of alignment with your true self. When you focus on yourself in this way, you bring the power of your awakened consciousness to everything you do. Your work becomes not just a means to earn a living, but an expression of your inner creativity. Your relationships become not obligations, but opportunities to express the love that you are. Every aspect of your life becomes infused with the divine power that flows through you. This, my friends, is the secret to living a truly fulfilling life. It is the key to stop wasting your time and start using it in a way that aligns with your highest purpose. For when you focus on yourself, on your inner world, you are focusing on the very source of all creation. And from this source, all good things flow. So I urge you, my dear friends, to make this commitment to yourself today. Commit to focusing on your inner world, on the God within you. Commit to stop wasting your time on external concerns and trivial matters. Commit to nurturing the seeds of your desires with the power of your imagination. For in doing so, you are not just changing your own life, you are changing the entire world. Because as you will come to realize, the world is you pushed out. Every change you make within yourself is reflected in the world around you. Every moment you spend in alignment with your true self creates ripples of positive change that extend far beyond what you can see. This is the true power of focusing on yourself. This is the magic that happens when you stop wasting your time and start using it to explore the infinite potential within you. This is the miracle of living from the state of the wish fulfilled, of knowing that what you desire is already yours in the realm of imagination. My friends, the time for change is now. The power is within you. The choice is yours. Will you continue to waste your time on external concerns, on worry and doubt? Or will you turn your focus inward to the God within you and begin to create the life you truly desire? I say to you, choose wisely, for in this choice lies the key to your freedom, to your happiness, to the full expression of your divine nature. Choose to focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding that this is the most powerful way to serve the world. For when you focus on yourself, when you align with the God within you, you become a beacon of light in this world. You become a living example of what is possible when one recognizes their true nature. You become a channel through which the infinite creativity of the universe can flow. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You show them, through your own transformed life, that they too have this power within them. You become a living testament to the truth that I have been sharing with you tonight. So, my dear friends, I implore you, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time on things that do not serve your highest good. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this inner realm, that all things are possible. Remember, The outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. By focusing on yourself, by cultivating your inner garden, you are creating the most beautiful, the most abundant, the most loving outer world possible. This is not selfish. This is your divine duty, your sacred responsibility. As we continue on this journey together, I want you to hold this truth close to your heart. You have power and power in your life. Not your circumstances, not other people, not the world around you. You and you alone have the power to shape your reality through the focus of your attention and the power of your imagination. So let us make a solemn vow, here and now, to stop wasting our time on frivolous pursuits. Let us commit to focusing on ourselves, on our inner world, on the God within us. For in doing so, we are not turning away from the world, but embracing it in its entirety. We are not becoming selfish, but becoming the fullest, most radiant expression of our true selves. And as we do this, as we focus on ourselves and stop wasting our time, we will begin to see miracles unfold in our lives. We will witness the power of our imagination made manifest in the world around us. We will experience the joy, the abundance, the love that is our birthright. For you see, my friends, when you focus on yourself in this way, you are focusing on God. And when you align yourself with God, with the creative power of the universe, there is nothing that is impossible for you. All things become possible. All dreams become achievable. All desires become attainable. So I say to you once again, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this sacred inner space, that your true power lies. It is here that you will find the key to creating the life you desire and deserve. As we delve deeper into this practice of self-focus, I want you to understand that this is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey. It is a moment-by-moment choice to direct your attention inward, to align with your true self, to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Each time you catch yourself wasting time on external concerns, gently but firmly bring your focus back to yourself. Each time you find yourself worrying about the future or regretting the past, bring your attention back to the present moment, to the God within you. This practice, my friends, is the essence of what I call living in the end. It is about assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, here and now, regardless of external circumstances. It is about focusing so intently on your desired state that it becomes your present reality in your imagination. And remember, what is imagined with feeling and conviction must inevitably manifest in your outer world. This is the law of your being. This is the power that you possess. So I ask you, why waste your time on anything less than this divine practice? Why dilute your focus with trivial concerns when you have the power to create worlds within you? As you continue to focus on yourself, as you stop wasting your time on external matters, you will begin to experience a profound shift in your consciousness. You will start to see the world not as something separate from you, but as an extension of your own being. You will begin to understand that every person you encounter, every situation you face is a reflection of your own consciousness. And with this understanding comes great power and great responsibility. For when you know that the world is you pushed out, you naturally want to cultivate the most beautiful, the most loving, the most abundant inner state possible. You want to focus on yourself not out of selfishness, but out of a deep desire to contribute to the well-being of all. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of self-love. It is not about ego or vanity. It is about recognizing your divine nature and allowing it to shine forth in all its glory. It is about focusing on yourself as an act of love for all of creation. As you practice this self-focus, as you stop wasting your time on external concerns, you will begin to notice subtle changes in your life. Synchronicities will increase. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. People will be drawn to your radiant energy. But remember, these outer changes are merely reflections of the inner change that has taken place within you. They are the natural result of your shifted focus, of your alignment with your true self. So do not become attached to these outer manifestations. Do not waste your time seeking validation from the external world. Instead, continue to focus on yourself, on your inner state, on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For it is this inner state, this feeling, that is the true creator of your reality. The outer world, in all its magnificence, is merely catching up to what you have already created within. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what about my current circumstances? What if my reality doesn't match my desires? How can I focus on myself when the world seems to be against me? To you, I say this: your circumstances, no matter how challenging they may seem, are not your reality. They are merely shadows, reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. Your true reality is what exists in your imagination, in your consciousness. So I urge you, do not waste your time and energy fighting against your current circumstances. Do not rail against what is. Instead, focus on yourself, on your inner world, on the state you wish to embody. For when you do this, when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled despite all outer evidence to the contrary, you set in motion a series of events that must inevitably lead to the manifestation of your desire. This, my friends, is the true test of your faith. It is easy to believe when all is going well, but can you maintain your focus on your desired state even when the world seems to contradict it? Can you persist in the assumption that you are who you want to be, that you have what you desire, even when your senses deny it? If you can do this, if you can focus on yourself and your desired state with unwavering faith, then truly all things are possible for you. For you have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe. You have become one with God. And in this state of oneness, of alignment with your true self, time takes on a different meaning. You no longer waste time worrying about the future or regretting the past. You no longer squander your energy on trivial pursuits or external validations. Instead, you live fully in the present moment, aware that this moment contains within it all possibilities. You focus on yourself, on your inner state, knowing that this is the point of power from which all creation springs. My dear friends, can you see now the immense power that lies within you? Can you grasp the profound implications of this practice of self-focus? Can you understand why I implore you to stop wasting your time on anything less than this divine work? For when you focus on yourself in this way, when you align with the God within you, you are not just changing your own life, you are changing the entire world. You are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. So I say to you once again, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Direct your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this sacred inner space, that miracles are born. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a powerful exercise, a practical way to implement this practice of self-focus in your daily life. Each night, as you lay in your bed just before you drift off to sleep, I want you to focus your attention inward. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your wish realized. Do not simply visualize these things as distant possibilities. Experience them as present facts. Feel the naturalness of being in this desired state. Let every cell of your body vibrate with the conviction that this is who you are now. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing these images, these feelings upon your subconscious mind. You are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your consciousness, seeds that must inevitably grow into the reality of your waking life. And when you wake in the morning, before you engage with the outer world, take a few moments to recall this state. Feel once again the naturalness of being the person you want to be, of living the life you desire. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. This, my friends, is how you focus on yourself. This is how you stop wasting your time on external concerns and trivial matters. This is how you align with the God within you and become the conscious creator of your life. Remember, your imagination is the workshop of God. It is the place where all things are conceived before they are born into the physical world. By focusing on yourself, on your inner world, you are essentially working in this divine workshop. You are using the tools of creation that have been bestowed upon you. So use these tools wisely. Use them with love, with joy, with unwavering faith. For as you do, you will begin to see your outer world transform in ways you never thought possible. And as these transformations occur, do not become complacent. Do not waste your time basking in your achievements or resting on your laurels. Instead, continue to focus on yourself, on your inner world, on the next beautiful state you wish to embody. For you see, my dear friends, this journey of self-discovery, of self-focus, is never-ending. There is always more to explore, more to create, more to become. The moment you think you have arrived is the moment you begin to stagnate. So keep pushing forward. Keep exploring the infinite potential within you. Keep focusing on yourself, not out of ego, but out of a deep understanding that this is how you best serve the world. For when you focus on yourself in this way, when you align with the God within you, you become a beacon of light in this world. You become a living example of what is possible when one recognizes their true nature. You become a channel through which the infinite creativity of the universe can flow. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You show them through your own transformed life that they too have this power within them. You become a living testament to the truth that I have been sharing with you tonight. So, my dear friends, as we conclude our time together, I implore you once more, focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time on things that do not serve your highest good. Redirect your attention to your inner world, to your imagination, to the God within you. For it is here, in this inner realm, that all things are possible. It is here that you will find the peace, the joy, the fulfillment that you seek. It is here that you will discover your true power and your divine purpose. Remember, the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. By focusing on yourself, by cultivating your inner garden, you are creating the most beautiful, the most abundant, the most loving outer world possible. This is not selfish. This is your divine duty, your sacred responsibility. This is how you contribute to the well-being of all. This is how you change the world. So go forth, my dear friends, with this newfound understanding. Go forth and focus on yourself with unwavering dedication. Go forth and stop wasting your time on trivial pursuits and external concerns. For as you do, you will begin to experience the miracle of your own divine nature. You will begin to see the power of your imagination made manifest in the world around you. You will begin to live the life you have always dreamed of, not as a distant possibility, but as your present reality. And in this realization, in this living from the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find a joy, a peace, a fulfillment beyond anything you have ever known. For you will have discovered the ultimate truth that you are one with God, that you are the creator of your reality, that all power is within you. So focus on yourself, my dear friends. Stop wasting your time. Embrace your divine nature. Live from the state of the wish fulfilled. For in doing so, you are not just changing your life. You are changing the entire world. You are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. And in this becoming, in this alignment with your true self, you will find that time is no longer something to be wasted or saved. It becomes a joyous unfolding of your divine potential, a continuous celebration of your oneness with God. So go now with my blessings and with the full knowledge of the power that resides within you. Go and focus on yourself. Go and create the life you desire. Go and be the miracle you were always meant to be. For you are God's greatest creation. And in focusing on yourself, you are focusing on God. And in this divine focus, all things are possible. All dreams are achievable. All desires are attainable. Remember this truth. Live this truth. Be this truth. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and contributing to the evolution of all consciousness. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention, for your willingness to embark on this journey of self-discovery with me. May you go forth and focus on yourself with unwavering dedication, knowing that in doing so, you are aligning with the very power that creates worlds. God bless you all. What it truly means when we say, everyone leaves on the surface, it may appear to be a statement of abandonment, of loss of inevitable solitude. But I tell you, it is a statement of profound truth about the nature of our reality and our journey through this world. You see, in this world of Caesar, in this realm of shadows and reflections, people come and go. Relationships form and dissolve. Even the most steadfast companions will, at some point, depart, if not through choice, then through the natural course of life and death. This is the way of the world we perceive with our physical senses. But I am here to remind you of a greater truth. You are never truly alone. For you are one with the divine, with the creative power of the universe, with what I often refer to as your wonderful human imagination. This is the God within you, and it is ever present, all powerful, and the true source of all that you experience in your world. When we say everyone leaves, we are acknowledging the transient nature of our external experiences. We are recognizing that all things in this world of Caesar are temporary, fleeting. But in this recognition, we open ourselves to a profound realization. The only constant in your life is you, not the you of flesh and bone, but the divine you, the I am that is your true self. This I am is the God within you. It is the creative power that shapes your reality. It is the awareness that observes your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and it is the only thing that truly never leaves you. Everything else, every person, every circumstance, every material possession is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, this sounds isolating. Are you saying we should push everyone away? No, my dear friends, that is not what I'm suggesting at all. Instead, I'm inviting you to shift your perspective, to realize that your true power, your true essence, lies within you and not in the external world. When you understand this, when you truly grasp that you are one with the divine creative power of the universe, you will never feel alone again. You will realize that you have within you everything you need to not just survive, but to thrive, to create, to manifest the life of your dreams. Let me share with you a simple truth that has transformed countless lives. Your imagination is the God within you. It is the creative power through which all things are possible. When you learn to harness this power, when you learn to live from the end, to experience in your imagination the reality you desire, you become the master of your own destiny. You see, the world around you, with all its people and circumstances, is nothing more than a mirror reflecting back to you your own inner state. When you change within, the reflection must change without. This is the law, and it is immutable. So when we speak of learning to survive alone, what we're really talking about is learning to tap into the infinite power within you. It's about realizing that you are the operant power in your world. You are the one who decides what your experience will be, regardless of external circumstances. Now, let's delve deeper into this concept of being alone. In the world of Caesar, being alone often carries negative connotations. We're told that humans are social creatures, that we need others to thrive. And while it's true that relationships and connections can enrich our lives, it's crucial to understand that true fulfillment, true peace, true power comes from within. When you learn to be comfortable in your own company, when you learn to rely on your own inner resources, you become invincible. No external circumstance can shake you because you know that you carry within you the power to change any situation, to create any reality you desire. This is what it means to truly survive alone. It means to stand firm in the knowledge of who you really are, a divine being, one with God, possessing infinite creative power. It means to live from that state of awareness, to operate in the world from that unshakable foundation. But how do we achieve this state? How do we come to this realization and begin to live from it? The answer, my friends, lies in the practice of what I call the law. This law is simple yet profound. Imagine the reality you desire, feel it as real, and it must come to pass in your external world. You see, your imagination is not some fanciful, idle daydreaming. It is the very workshop of creation. When you imagine, you are engaging the God within you. You are exercising your divine creative power. And when you couple that imagination with feeling, when you feel the reality of what you've imagined, you set in motion the forces that will bring that imagined reality into your physical experience. This is how you not only survive but thrive when everyone leaves. You realize that you never needed anyone else to complete you, to fulfill you, to make you whole. You always had within you everything you needed. The people in your life, the relationships, the connections, these are all wonderful expressions of your inner state, reflections of your consciousness. But they are not the source of your happiness, your success, your fulfillment. You are the source. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Imagine a young woman who has just gone through a difficult breakup. In the world of Caesar, she might feel lost, alone, incomplete. She might believe that her happiness walked out the door with her former partner. But if this young woman understands the law, if she grasped the truth of her own divine nature, she would see the situation very differently. Instead of focusing on the loss, on the absence, she would turn within. She would use her imagination to create the reality she desires. Perhaps she imagines herself confident, joyful, and fulfilled. Perhaps she feels the reality of being in a loving, supportive relationship. Or perhaps she imagines herself thriving in her career, surrounded by friends, living a life of purpose and passion. The key is this: whatever she imagines and feels as real must by law be reflected in her external reality. This is not wishful thinking or positive affirmations. This is the operation of cosmic law. This is the creative power of God, the human imagination at work. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this selfish? Shouldn't we be focusing on others, on building relationships and connections? And to this, I say, there is no greater service you can offer to the world than to realize your own divine nature, to manifest your highest self, to live from the state of the person you wish to be. You see, when you do this, when you live from the end, from the state of your wish fulfilled, you automatically uplift everyone around you. You become a living example of what's possible. Your very being becomes an inspiration, a beacon of light in the world. Moreover, when you understand that everyone in your world is you pushed out, a reflection of your own consciousness, you realize that by changing yourself, by living from your higher state, you are quite literally changing the world. You are improving every relationship, every interaction, every circumstance in your life. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of learning to survive alone. It's not about isolation or self-sufficiency in the worldly sense. It's about realizing your oneness with God, your true identity as the operant power in your world. It's about understanding that everything you seek, love, success, fulfillment, peace, is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. Let's explore this concept further through the lens of various life situations. Consider the realm of career and success. Many people believe that their success depends on external factors, on knowing the right people, on being in the right place at the right point, on having the right qualifications or background. But I tell you, true success comes from within. When you imagine yourself successful, when you feel the reality of being the person you wish to be in your career, you align yourself with that state. You begin to think, speak, and act from that state of success. And inevitably, the outer world must reorganize itself to match your inner assumption. I've seen this principle at work countless times. I remember a young man who came to one of my lectures. He was struggling in his career, feeling stuck and unappreciated. I advised him to imagine himself in the position he desired, to feel the satisfaction and confidence of being successful in his field. At first he was skeptical, but Neville, he said, I don't have the experience or the connections. How can simply imagining make a difference? I told him to persist in his imaginal act, to make it so real that he could taste it, feel it, live it in his mind. Weeks later, he returned with a beaming smile. Not only had he been promoted to the very position he had imagined, but opportunities he had never even considered had begun to flow into his life. You see, when he changed his inner state, when he began to live from the end in his imagination, the outer world had no choice but to conform to his new self-concept. This, my friends, is the power you hold within you. This is how you thrive when it seems like everyone has left, when the outer world seems unsupportive or even hostile to hope. You turn within, you imagine the reality you desire, and you live from that state. Now let's turn our attention to the realm of relationships, for this is often where the fear of being alone is most keenly felt. Many of you may have experienced the pain of loss, the ache of heartbreak, the fear of abandonment. And in those moments, it can feel as though a vital part of you has been torn away. But I am here to remind you of a profound truth. No one can complete you because you are already complete. You are whole, perfect, and complete in your divine nature. The love you seek, the companionship you desire, these are all within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. When you understand this, when you live from this truth, you free yourself from the desperate need for others to fill a perceived void in your life. You become magnetic, attracting into your life people and relationships that reflect your inner state of wholeness and love. Let me share with you the story of a dear friend who grasped this truth and transformed her life. She had been through a series of unfulfilling relationships, each ending in heartbreak and disappointment. She came to me feeling depleted, wondering if she was destined to be alone forever. I asked her a simple question. Who would you be if you were in the perfect relationship? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? I encouraged her to imagine herself as that person, to feel the joy, the confidence, the love that she would feel in her ideal relationship. At first, she found it challenging. The pain of her past experiences kept intruding on her imaginal scene. But I urged her to persist, to make her imaginal act more real than her memories of past disappointments. Gradually, she began to feel a shift. She noticed that she was becoming more confident, more joyful, more at peace with herself. She no longer felt the desperate need to be in a relationship. And then something remarkable happened. Not only did she begin to attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships into her life, but she realized that she had fallen in love with herself. She had discovered the wellspring of love within her own being. She understood, perhaps for the first time, that she was complete in herself. This, my dear friends, is the liberating truth I want you to grasp tonight. When you realize that you are complete in yourself, when you tap into the infinite love and power within you, you free yourself from the fear of being alone. You learn not just to survive, but to thrive in any circumstance. Now, let's address another aspect of our topic, the fear of death. For in the world of Caesar, death represents the ultimate leaving, the final solitude. Many live in fear of this moment, seeing it as the end of everything, the ultimate separation. But I tell you, death is but a transition, a shift in consciousness. When you understand your true nature as a spiritual being, as one with God, you realize death holds no power over you. Your true self, your I am, is eternal and unchanging. In fact, I encourage you to practice dying daily. By this, I mean to die to your old concept of self, to let go of limiting beliefs and negative self-images. Each night as you go to sleep, imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Then, as you awake each morning, carry that new self-concept with you into your day. This practice of dying daily to your old self and being reborn to your ideal self is the key to personal transformation. It is how you survive and thrive in a world where everything is constantly changing, where people come and go, where nothing in the world of Caesar is permanent. Remember, my friends, that your true home is not in this world of shadows and reflections. Your true home is in the realm of imagination, in the kingdom of God within you. When you live from this awareness, you are never truly alone, never truly abandoned, never truly at the mercy of external circumstances. Let's now turn our attention to the practical application of these principles in your daily life. How do you begin to live from this state of divine awareness? How do you tap into the God within you and create the life you desire? The first step is to still your mind, to quiet the incessant chatter of your physical senses and your rational mind. This is why I often emphasize the importance of meditation and contemplation. Find time each day to sit in silence to turn your attention inward. As you sit in silence, bring to mind the reality you wish to experience. See it clearly in your mind's eye, but don't stop at mere visualization. Engage all your senses. If you're imagining a successful career, feel the satisfaction of achievement. Hear the congratulations of your colleagues. Feel the weight of responsibility and the thrill of new challenges. If you're imagining a loving relationship, feel the warmth of your partner's embrace. Hear the words of love and support. Feel the deep sense of connection and understanding. Whatever you're imagining, make it as real and as vivid as possible. And here's the crucial part. Feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the sense of accomplishment, as if what you're imagining is already your reality. This feeling, this emotion, is the secret to effective manifestation. For you see, the subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing in your physical reality and what you're experiencing vividly in your imagination. When you feel the reality of your imagined state, you impress that reality upon your subconscious mind, and it begins to work tirelessly to bring that reality into your physical experience. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried this, and it didn't work. I imagined what I wanted, but nothing changed to this. I say persistence is key. You must return to your imaginal scene night after night, impressing it upon your subconscious mind until it feels more real to you than your current physical reality. Remember, you are undoing years, perhaps decades of negative thinking and limiting beliefs. You are reversing the momentum of your old thought patterns. This takes time and consistent effort. But I assure you, if you persist, if you remain faithful to your imaginal act, it must bear fruit in your physical reality. Moreover, you must learn to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. This means aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the person you are imagining yourself to be. If you're imagining financial abundance, start treating yourself as if you are already wealthy. If you're imagining a loving relationship, start treating yourself and others with the love and respect you envision in your ideal relationship. This is what I mean when I speak of living from the end. You don't wait for your outer world to change before you change your inner state. You change your inner state, and your outer world must follow suit. Now let's address a common concern that arises when we speak of creating our own reality. Many worry, if I'm creating my reality, does that mean I'm to blame for all the negative things in my life? And to this I say, let go of the concepts of blame and fault. These are limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in a cycle of guilt and self-recrimination. Instead, embrace the empowering truth that if you can imagine it, you can create it. Your past thoughts and beliefs may have contributed to your current circumstances, but your future is determined by your present thoughts and beliefs. You have the power right now, in this very moment, to begin creating the life you desire. This understanding is particularly powerful when it comes to healing from past hurts and traumas. Many of you may have experienced abandonment, betrayal, or loss. These experiences can leave deep scars, making it difficult to trust, to open your heart, to believe in the possibility of love and connection. But I tell you, no matter what you've experienced in the past, you have the power to heal. You have the power to rewrite your story, to create a new narrative for your life. And it all begins in your imagination. Imagine yourself healed, whole, and complete. Feel the peace that comes with forgiveness, the joy that comes with self-love, the confidence that comes with knowing your own worth. Live from this state and watch as your outer world begins to reflect your inner healing. Remember, everyone who has ever hurt you, everyone who has ever left you, was simply playing a role in the story you were telling. As you change your story, as you revise your concept of self, the characters in your life will either change to match your new narrative or they will exit stage left, making room for new characters who align with your new self-concept. This is the true meaning of learning to survive alone. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your life story. You are the creator of your reality. You have within you everything you need to create the life you desire. Now, let's talk about the concept of revision, a powerful technique that can help you reshape your past and consequently your present and future. Revision is not about denying what happened, but about reinterpreting events in a way that empowers you and aligns with your desired reality. For instance, if you've experienced a painful breakup, instead of replaying the hurt and betrayal in your mind you have seen, imagine the relationship ending amicably, with both parties wishing each other well. Feel the peace and closure that comes with this revised scenario. Or if you've lost a job, instead of dwelling on the feelings of rejection and failure, revise the scene. Imagine your former employer congratulating you on moving on to bigger, better opportunities. Feel the excitement and optimism of new beginnings. By revising past events in your imagination, you're not changing what physically happened, but you are changing your emotional response to those events. And since your emotional state is what creates your reality, this revision can have a profound impact on your present and future experiences. This practice of revision is particularly powerful when it comes to healing feelings of abandonment or betrayal. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of others' actions, you begin to see yourself as the powerful creator of your own experience. You realize that no one can truly abandon you because you are never alone. You are always one with the divine, with the God within you. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling as you hear these words. You might be thinking, Neville, this all sounds wonderful, but it feels selfish. Shouldn't we be focusing on helping others, on making the world a better place? To this I say, there is no greater service you can offer to the world than to realize your own divine nature and to live a nature. When you tap into the God within you, when you begin to create consciously and deliberately, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very being uplifts those around you. Moreover, when you understand that everyone and everything in your world is you pushed out, a reflection of your own consciousness, you realize that by changing yourself, you are changing the world. As you cultivate love, peace, and abundance within yourself, you naturally extend these qualities to everyone in your world. This is the true meaning of being your brother's keeper. It's not about trying to change others or fix their problems. It's about embodying the change you wish to see in the world. It's about living from the state of the person you wish to be. And in doing so, inspiring others to recognize their own divine nature. Let me share with you a powerful practice that can help you embody this understanding. Each night, before you go to sleep, I want you to imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself living the life you desire, embodying the qualities you admire. But don't stop there. As you imagine this ideal version of yourself, extend that same love, success, and fulfillment to everyone in your world. See everyone around you thriving, joyful, and fulfilled. Feel the happiness that comes from knowing that as you prosper, so does everyone in your world. This practice not only accelerates your own manifestation process, but also cultivates a deep sense of connection and oneness with all of life. You begin to understand experientially that there is no separation, that we are all one in consciousness. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your fear of being alone, your fear of abandonment begins to dissolve. You realize that you can never truly be alone because you are one with all of life. You are one with God, the creative power of the universe. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of states of consciousness, for this understanding is crucial to mastering the art of conscious creation. Every experience you have, every circumstance in your life, is the result of the state of consciousness you're occupying. A state is simply a mindset, a way of being. It's the sum total of your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings about yourself and the world. When you change your state, when you shift your consciousness to embody different thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, your experience must change to match your new state. This is why it's so important to mind your inner conversations, to be aware of the thoughts you're thinking and the emotions you're feeling throughout your seal. These inner conversations, these habitual thought patterns, are creating your reality. If you find yourself constantly thinking thoughts of lack, of loneliness, of abandonment, you're occupying a state that will continue to create experiences that match those thoughts. But the moment you shift your consciousness, the moment you begin to think thoughts of abundance, of connection, of divine companionship, you move into a new state. and your reality must shift to reflect this new state. This understanding is particularly powerful when it comes to dealing with the fear of being alone. You see, loneliness is a state of consciousness. It's not determined by your external circumstances, but by your inner perception of those circumstances. You can be in a room full of people and feel desperately alone if you're occupying a state of loneliness. Conversely, you can be physically alone and feel deeply connected and fulfilled if you're occupying a state of divine companionship, of oneness with God. The key then is to consciously choose the state you wish to occupy. And you do this through your imagination. By imagining yourself in the state you desire, by feeling the reality of that state, you begin to shift your consciousness. And as your consciousness shifts, your reality must follow suit. Let me give you a practical exercise to help you master this skill of state shifting. Choose a state you wish to embody. Perhaps it's confidence, or love, or success. Now, close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies you are already living from that state. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. For instance, if you're imagining the state of confidence, you might see yourself giving a powerful presentation to a room full of attentive listeners. Feel the confidence coursing through your body. Hear the applause at the end of your talk. Feel the satisfaction of knowing you've made a positive impact. Now, here's the crucial part. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. When you interact with others, when you go about your tasks, do so from this state of confidence. Speak, think, and act as the confident person you've imagined yourself to be. At first, this might feel like you're pretending or playing a role. But I assure you, as you persist in this practice, it will become more and more natural. You'll find yourself spontaneously thinking and acting from this new state. And as you do, you'll see your outer world begin to reflect your inner state. This practice of consciously choosing and occupying states is the key to mastering your life experience. It's how you learn not just to survive, but to thrive, regardless of external circumstances. It's how you become the conscious creator of your reality. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when we discuss these principles. Many ask, Neville, if I can create my reality through my imagination, why do bad things stay? Why do I still experience loss and pain? To this I say, remember that you are in the process of awakening to your true nature as a divine creator. You are learning to use the power of your imagination consciously and deliberately. But for much of your life, you've been creating unconsciously, reacting to circumstances rather than consciously choosing your state. Moreover, you are surrounded by the thoughts and beliefs of others, by societal conditioning that often runs counter to these principles. It takes time and practice to overcome these influences and to consistently create from a place of conscious awareness. But here's the empowering truth. Even when challenging circumstances arise, you have the power to choose how you respond. You have the power to revise your experience, to find the gift in every situation, to use every experience as an opportunity for growth and expansion. This is what it means to be the operant power in your world. It doesn't mean that you'll never face challenges or that everything will always go smoothly. It means that you have the power to choose your response to every situation, to create meaning from every experience, to use every circumstance as a stepping stone to your desired reality. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. You are never truly alone. The God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is your constant companion, your unfailing friend, your source of infinite possibility. When you fully grasp this truth, when you live from this understanding, you free yourself from the fear of abandonment, from the anxiety of being alone. You realize that everything you seek, love, companionship, success, fulfillment, is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. So, my dear friends, as you go forth from this place, I encourage you to practice living from the state of your wish fulfilled. Imagine the reality you desire. Feel it as real and persist in that feeling. Know that as you do this, you are engaging the creative power of the universe. You are activating the God within you. Remember, everyone lives in the world of Caesar, but in the world of spirit, in the kingdom of God within you, you are never alone. You are one with the source of all creation, one with the power that shapes universes. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding. And watch as your world transforms to reflect the divine being that you truly are. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
What if I told you that everything you've ever dreamed of, wealth, success, and a life of abundance, can become your reality with just the power of your mind? It might sound like magic, but it's not. This is the transformative power of visualization, a practice that has changed countless lives and can change yours too. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets behind the law of assumption, a profound concept taught by Neville Goddard, one of the most influential spiritual teachers of all time. Neville's teachings go beyond the surface of positive thinking. They reveal a step-by-step process to manifest anything you desire by simply assuming it's already yours. Stay with us, because we'll not only explain the fascinating psychology behind this law, but also show you exactly how to use it in your life. From understanding why the mind struggles to distinguish between reality and imagination, to learning how to shift your mindset into wealth consciousness, this video will empower you to take control of your destiny. We'll also share lesser-known insights from Neville's teachings that could be the missing link in your journey to financial freedom. Whether you're new to the law of assumption or looking for deeper clarity, this is your guide to turning your visualizations into reality. Vision. Welcome to Limitless Mindset, the channel where we explore the untapped potential of your mind to create the life you deserve. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of manifestation and transform your life, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's dive into the incredible power of visualization and how it can help you achieve wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before we talk about how to manifest wealth, let's first understand the foundation of this process, the law of assumption. This concept is both simple and profound. It is the belief that assuming a desired state as true, deep in your mind and emotions, will bring that state into your reality. In essence, what you believe and feel to be true becomes your experience. The law of assumption works on the principle that your subconscious mind is the creator of your reality. It does not judge or analyze, it simply accepts what you feed it. When you assume a particular state, whether it's wealth, success, or happiness, your subconscious mind begins to align your external circumstances to match this assumption. This is why changing your inner world is the key to changing your outer world. Neville Goddard, a pioneer of this teaching, explained that imagination is the most powerful tool we have. He believed that everything you experience in life is a result of your imagination. According to Neville, you must imagine the fulfillment of your desire as if it has already happened. It's not enough to think about what you want. You must feel it deeply. The emotions of joy, gratitude, and satisfaction are the triggers that activate the law of assumption. Neville often emphasized the importance of living in the end. This means that instead of hoping for your desires to come true, you act and feel as though they already have. For example, if you desire wealth, visualize yourself living a wealthy life. See the details, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions. Your imagination must be so vivid and convincing that it becomes your new reality internally. This process might seem abstract, but it is grounded in the way the mind works. The subconscious cannot differentiate between real events and vividly imagined ones. When you persist in assuming and feeling the state you desire, your subconscious begins to reshape your actions, decisions, and circumstances to bring that desire into existence. This is where the magic of the law of assumption truly lies. Before we talk about applying the law of assumption, it's essential to understand one of its most powerful tools, visualization. Visualization is the practice of creating vivid mental images of a desired outcome, allowing these images to influence your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately your reality. It's more than daydreaming. It's a deliberate and focused process designed to reshape your inner world. When it comes to manifesting desires, especially wealth, visualization plays a central role. By imagining yourself in a state of financial abundance, you begin to shift your mindset and energy. This shift isn't just motivational, it's transformational. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You approach challenges with confidence instead of fear. Your mental imagery becomes the blueprint for the reality your subconscious mind starts working to create. The psychological basis of visualization is fascinating. Studies have shown that the brain cannot distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. For instance, when you visualize yourself achieving a goal, the same neural pathways are activated as if you were actually experiencing it. This creates a mental rehearsal that conditions your brain to believe the imagined scenario is possible, even inevitable. This phenomenon is why athletes, performers, and successful individuals often use visualization to prepare for success. For example, a runner might visualize crossing the finish line first, feeling the wind, hearing the cheers, and experiencing the rush of victory. This process programs the mind for success, increasing their confidence and focus in the real event. In the context of wealth, visualization allows you to align with the energy of abundance. Picture yourself living the life you desire, whether it's a beautiful home, financial freedom, or helping others through your wealth. Imagine it in detail. What does the space look like? What emotions do you feel? The more real the visualization, the stronger its impact on your subconscious mind. This practice is not just about creating positive feelings. It's about convincing your mind that the wealth you desire is already yours. When done consistently, visualization begins to reshape your beliefs, habits, and actions to match this internal reality. In this way, visualization becomes a bridge between your dreams and the life you're building. Before we talk about how to make your visualizations truly effective, it's important to understand the synergy between visualization and the law of assumption. Each of these practices is powerful on its own, but when combined, they create a force that can transform your reality. Visualization gives your mind a clear image of what you desire, while the law of assumption adds the emotional and mental alignment necessary to make it real. The process begins with clarity. You need to clearly define your financial goals. Think about what wealth means to you. Is it a certain amount of money in your account? Is it the freedom to travel, invest, or support loved ones? Be specific. Without a clear goal, your mind has no target to aim for, and the process becomes scattered. Once your goals are defined, bring them to life through visualization. Close your eyes and create a vivid mental picture of your life after achieving these goals. See the details, the environment, the people, the experiences. What does your daily life look like? Engage all your senses. Hear the conversations you would have. Feel the texture of the things around you, and immerse yourself fully in this imagined reality. But visualization is not enough by itself. This is where the law of assumption comes in. While visualizing, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Don't just imagine wealth. Feel what it's like to already be wealthy. Experience the relief, joy, and gratitude that come with financial freedom. This emotional state is what communicates to your subconscious that the desired reality is already true. The key is consistency. Maintaining this assumption is critical. It's not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe. Instead, it's about gently guiding your mind back to this feeling every time doubt or negativity arises. Revisit your visualization often, especially during quiet moments like before sleep or right after waking up, when your mind is most receptive. By combining the vivid imagery of visualization with the emotional alignment of the law of assumption, you create a powerful mental and emotional blueprint. This blueprint influences your thoughts, behaviors, and even the opportunities that come your way, paving the path for your financial goals to materialize. Before we talk about the results of manifesting wealth, let's focus on the practical steps you can take to make this process work in your life. Manifestation isn't just about thinking positively or wishing for change. It's about taking intentional, consistent actions that align your mind, emotions, and energy with your financial goals. The first step is to set clear financial intentions. Be specific about what you want to achieve. Instead of saying, "I want to be rich," define the exact amount of money you want to have, the lifestyle you wish to live, or the financial milestones you want to reach. Clarity provides direction and gives your subconscious mind a clear goal to focus on. Once your intentions are set, daily visualization practices become essential. Start with meditation to calm and focus your mind. Find a quiet place where you can close your eyes and visualize your financial goals vividly. Imagine your bank account showing the exact balance you desire. See yourself living in the home you've always dreamed of, or driving the car you want. Feel the emotions of joy and gratitude as if these goals are already part of your life. Vision boards are another powerful tool to reinforce your visualization. Gather images, words, and symbols that represent your wealth goals and create a visual collage. Place this board where you can see it daily, and spend a few moments each day focusing on it. This keeps your intentions fresh and strengthens your mental alignment. Affirmations are also vital for reprogramming your beliefs. Use positive, present tense statements like, "I am financially free," or "I attract wealth effortlessly." Repeat these affirmations during your visualization sessions or throughout your day to reinforce your belief in your financial abundance. Gratitude is the final step in aligning with abundance. Take time every day to express thanks for the wealth you already have, no matter how small it may seem. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, opening your mind and emotions to receive even more. By integrating these practical steps into your daily life, you create a routine that strengthens your belief in wealth, aligns your energy with abundance, and directs your actions toward achieving your financial goals. Before we talk about the rewards of manifesting wealth, it's important to recognize some common pitfalls that can derail the process. Manifestation, especially when applying the law of assumption, requires patience, belief, and focus. Understanding these challenges and knowing how to overcome them is key to staying on track. One of the most common mistakes is doubting the process. It's natural for skepticism to creep in, especially when you don't see immediate results. This doubt can weaken your efforts and send conflicting messages to your subconscious mind. The key is to remind yourself that the process works in its own time. Trust that the seeds you are planting through visualization and assumption will eventually grow. Another pitfall is impatience. Many people start with excitement, but quickly lose faith when results don't show up as quickly as they hoped. Manifestation is not a quick fix. It's a transformation of your inner world that gradually reflects in your outer reality. To counter impatience, focus on the small shifts you notice. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how minor it may seem, and remember that persistence always pays off. Focusing on your current undesirable reality is another trap that can block progress. It's easy to get caught up in what you see around you, financial struggles, bills piling up, or a lack of opportunities. However, dwelling on these circumstances reinforces them in your subconscious. Instead, shift your attention to the reality you're creating. Use your visualization and affirmations to stay anchored in the state of abundance, to maintain faith and persistence. Build habits that support your journey. Create a routine of daily visualization and affirmations, and surround yourself with reminders of your goals like a vision board or inspirational quotes. Journaling can also help you track your progress and reinforce your belief in the process. When doubt or impatience arises, take a moment to pause and realign. Meditation or mindfulness practices can help you refocus on your intentions and calm your mind. Trust that even when results are not visible, changes are happening beneath the surface. By staying aware of these pitfalls and actively working to overcome them, you can ensure that your efforts to manifest wealth remain strong and consistent, paving the way for your success. Before we talk about how these principles can transform your life, let's look at some real-life success stories that prove the power of visualization and the law of assumption. These individuals started with nothing but a vision, belief, and unwavering persistence, and they turned their dreams into reality. One such story is that of Jim Carrey, the world-famous actor and comedian. Long before he became famous, Carrey was struggling to make ends meet. He used visualization and the power of assumption to change his circumstances. Every night he would sit on a hill overlooking Los Angeles and visualize himself as a successful actor. He even wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dated it 5 years into the future. Remarkably, just before that date, he landed a role in Dumb and Dumber and was paid exactly $10 million. End quote. Another example is Oprah Winfrey, who often speaks about the importance of belief and visualization in her success. Coming from a background of poverty and hardship, she used these principles to envision herself as a successful talk show host and media mogul. Oprah consistently focused on the life she wanted, not the struggles she faced, and her persistence paid off, turning her into one of the most influential women in the world. Countless others have shared similar journeys, including ordinary individuals who used these techniques to achieve financial freedom. Take the story of a small business owner who was drowning in debt. They began practicing daily visualization, imagining their business thriving, their debts cleared, and their bank account growing. By combining this with actionable steps like networking and improving their services, they turned their business around in just a few years. The common thread in all these stories is belief and persistence. Each person held on to their vision, even when their current reality showed no signs of change. They refused to let doubt or impatience derail them. Instead, they trusted the process, consistently visualized their desired outcomes, and acted in alignment with their goals. These stories remind us that the principles of visualization and assumption are not just abstract ideas. They're tools that, when used consistently and with conviction, can reshape lives and create extraordinary results. To lead with will is to become a part of the universe. To wrap things up, we've explored the incredible power of visualization and the law of assumption to manifest wealth and transform your life. We began by understanding how these principles work, focusing on the synergy between creating mental images and assuming the reality of your desires. We delved into practical steps, such as setting clear intentions, daily visualization, affirmations, and practicing gratitude, to align your mind and emotions with abundance. We also addressed common pitfalls like doubt and impatience, and shared real-life success stories that highlight the magic of belief and persistence. Now, it's your turn to take these principles and apply them in your life. Start by defining your financial goals. Visualize them daily, and assume the feeling of already having achieved them. Remember, the key is consistency and faith in the process. Even if results take time, stay committed and trust that your reality is shifting in ways you cannot yet see. You have the power to create the life you desire. All it takes is a clear vision, a belief in your ability to succeed, and the persistence to keep moving forward. Visualize, assume, and manifest your wealth into reality. If you found this video inspiring, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from this knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe to Limitless Mindset for more insights on unlocking the full potential of your mind. Together, let's create lives of abundance and fulfillment. Thank you for watching.
My dear wonderful friends, tonight we will explore one of the most powerful yet misunderstood principles in the art of manifestation, the divine law of silence and selective association. Many of you have come to me asking, Neville, why do my manifestations sometimes fail? Or why do things seem to fall apart just when they're about to succeed? Tonight I will share with you a profound truth that will transform your understanding of the law. Let me begin by telling you why silence is not merely the absence of speech, but the very foundation of your creative power. In Scripture we read, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness, this divine silence, is not a mere suggestion. It is the very secret of creation itself. Consider how God created the world. Did he announce his intentions to anyone? Did he seek validation or approval? No, my dear friends, in the depths of silence, in the quiet of his own being. He spoke the words, "Let there be," and it was done. This is your pattern. This is your blueprint. Iron Metal came to me in New York. She had been trying to manifest a specific position in her company, a position that seemed impossible to obtain given her current status. She had told everyone about her desire, seeking advice, validation, and support. For months, nothing happened. Then she heard this principle of silence and everything changed. She did something remarkable. She cut off all discussion of her desire. She stopped seeking opinion, stopped announcing her intentions, and most importantly, she went into what I call the sacred silence. Within 3 weeks, not only was she offered the position she desired, but she was offered an even better one she hadn't even imagined possible. You see, when you speak of your desires to others, you are diffusing your creative power. Every time you discuss your intentions, you are releasing the pressure of the creative force that should be building within you. It's like puncturing a balloon before it's fully inflated. The air escapes and the balloon never reaches its intended form. Let me share with you what I call the law of sacred silence. This law states that every desire has its own gestation period, just as every seed has its own time of growth. When you plant a seed in the ground, you dig it up every day to check its progress. You tell everyone about the seed you've planted and ask their opinion on whether it will grow. Of course not. You plant it in the silence of the earth and let it grow undisturbed. Your desires are spiritual seeds, and your consciousness is the soil in which they grow. Every time you speak of your desires to others, you are essentially digging up your seed to show it to the world. How can it grow if you don't give it the silence it needs to take root? But tonight I want to take you deeper than you've ever gone before into understanding why cutting all contacts is equally crucial to your manifestation. This is not about isolation. It's about insulation. Then you must insulate your consciousness from the doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs of others. Consider the story of Noah. Before the flood came, he was instructed to enter the ark and seal it. This is not a historical account, but a psychological drama playing out in consciousness. The ark represents your consciousness, and sealing it represents cutting off contact with all that would disturb your assumption of the wish fulfilled. Many of you maintain relationships and connections that constantly pull you back into old states of consciousness. Try to rise to a new level of being while staying connected to those who know you as you were, not as you desire to be. This is like trying to fly while keeping your feet chained to the ground. Let me tell you about a student of mine who understood this principle perfectly. He desired to move from poverty to wealth, but he realized that his daily associations were keeping him anchored in the consciousness of lack. His friends, though well-meaning, constantly spoke of limitations, of how difficult it was to make money, of how the economy was against them. He made a bold decision. He temporarily cut all contacts that reinforced the old state of poverty consciousness. He didn't do this unkindly or abruptly, but he quietly withdrew from circles that kept him tied to the old state. Instead of spending evenings discussing lack with his usual companions, he went into silence and lived in the assumption of his wish fulfilled. The results were extraordinary. Within 6 months, his entire financial reality transformed. But notice something crucial. He didn't announce his intentions to withdraw. He didn't make declarations about cutting contacts. He simply did it, in silence, with the same naturalness with which you would close the door to keep out the cold. Now let me share with you what I call the 3 chambers of silence. The first chamber is physical silence, the cessation of speaking about your desires. The second chamber is mental silence, the quieting of internal chatter and doubt. The third chamber and most profound is spiritual silence, the complete surrender to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Many of you enter the first chamber easily enough. You can stop talking about your desires. Some of you even master the second chamber controlling your thoughts, but it's the third where the real power lies. In this chamber can only be entered when you've cut the ties that bind you to your old state. Think of Lot's wife in Scripture. She was told not to look back at the city she was leaving. This is not a story about physical geography. It's about consciousness. When you're moving into a new state of being, you cannot keep looking back at the old state or maintaining connections with those who are not old state. Let me tell you about the law of state resonance. Everything and everyone in your life is a reflection of the state you occupy. When you try to enter a new state while maintaining connections with those who resonate with your old state, you create a psychological conflict that prevents your complete transformation. I recall a gentleman in Los Angeles who desired to become a renowned author. He had talent, he had ideas, but he remained stuck in obscurity. Why? Because he kept himself surrounded by people who knew him as a struggling writer. Their very presence in his life kept him anchored to that state of struggle. One day, after hearing these principles, he did something that seemed drastic to others, but was perfectly natural to him. He cut all contacts with his writing group, stopped attending literary gatherings where people complained about how hard it was to get published, and went into complete silence about his work. Instead of discussing his book with others, he lived in the silence of his completed wish. He would walk into bookstores and quietly see his book on the shelves. He would silently feel the weight of his published work in his hands. He stopped seeking validation, stopped asking for opinions, and most importantly, stopped connecting with those who knew him as anything less than a successful author. Here's what you must understand about the power of cutting contacts. It's not about avoiding people. It's about avoiding states. Every person in your life represents a state of consciousness. When you maintain connections with those who know you in your old state, you're making it infinitely harder to fully occupy your new state. Consider the biblical instruction. Come out from among them and be ye separate. This is not about physical separation, but about separating yourself from states that contradict your desire. When you truly understand this, you'll see why maintaining certain contacts keeps you bound to states you're trying to leave. Let me introduce you to what I call the principle of state solidarity. This principle states that your consciousness naturally seeks alignment with the predominant consciousness of those around you. This is why being around people who knew in your old state makes it challenging to maintain your new assumption. Think of it like tuning a radio. You're trying to tune into the frequency of your desire, but the old contacts in your life keep pulling the dial back to the old frequency. The solution is not to fight against this pulling. The solution is to remove yourself from the range of the old frequency entirely. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't it selfish to cut contacts with people? Let me tell you something profound. You're not cutting contact with people. You're cutting contact with states. When you successfully establish yourself in your new state, you'll find that some of these people will either transform with you or naturally fall away. Let me share with you what I call the law of silent transformation. When a caterpillar enters its cocoon, it doesn't announce its transformation. It doesn't seek approval from other caterpillars. It doesn't maintain connections with its caterpillar life in perfect silence. In complete isolation, it undergoes its magnificent transformation. This is your pattern. When you're transforming into a new state of consciousness, you must enter your own psychological cocoon. This is why silence and cutting contacts are not just helpful suggestions. They are spiritual imperatives. I remember a woman in my New York lectures who desired marriage. She had been dating for years, constantly discussing her relationships with friends, always seeking advice, always maintaining connections with people who knew her as the single friend. She was constantly in what I call the state of seeking. After learning these principles, she did something revolutionary. She cut all contacts with her dating circles, stopped discussing relationships entirely, and withdrew from the constant social commentary about her love life. Instead, she went into complete silence and lived in the assumption of being happily married. Her friends thought she had become antisocial. Some even criticized her for withdrawing, but she understood something they didn't. She couldn't become the woman she desired to be while maintaining connections that kept her in the state of seeking. Here's what you must understand about the power of silence. It's not merely the absence of noise, it's the presence of power. When you go into silence about your desires, when you cut contacts with those who know you as you are creating a vacuum in consciousness. And nature abhors a vacuum? Let me introduce you to the 4 stages of silent creation. The first stage is recognition, recognizing that your current contacts and conversations are keeping you bound to your old state. The second stage is withdrawal, quietly removing yourself from environments and relationships that reinforce the old state. The third stage is silence, maintaining complete silence about your transformation. The fourth stage is emergence, naturally revealing your new state once it's fully embodied. Most people fail because they try to skip stages. They recognize the need for change, but maintain all their old contacts. They try to withdraw, but keep announcing their withdrawal. They attempt silence, but keep checking if it's working. Remember, a seed doesn't grow faster because you keep checking on it. Consider Joseph in Scripture. When he received his dream of greatness, did he maintain connections with those who knew him as a slave? No, he was separated from all his old contacts, placed in what appeared to be adverse circumstances. But these very circumstances were preparing him for his transformation. This brings us to what I call the principle of sacred separation. Just as a pregnant woman carries her unborn child in the silence and privacy of her jatsam, you must carry your desire in the silence and privacy of your consciousness. Every time you discuss it, every time you maintain contact with those who doubt it, you're exposing your unborn desire to harmful elements. Let me tell you about a businessman who came to me in desperate circumstances. His company was failing, and he had been constantly discussing his problems with everyone who would listen. His entire network consisted of people who knew him as the owner of a struggling business. I shared with him these principles, and he understood them at a deep level. He stopped attending business networking events where people discussed market difficulties. He cut contacts with his commiseration circle, those friends who gathered to share business troubles. He went into complete silence about his company's status. Instead of seeking advice, he sought silence. Instead of maintaining connections that reinforced failure, he insulated his consciousness. In the assumption of success to the outside world, he seemed to have become a recluse. But in the silence of his consciousness, a transformation was taking place. What happened next illustrates perfectly what I call the law of silent attraction. Within 3 months, his business began attracting opportunities that had been there all along but were invisible to him while he was in the state of struggle and constant discussion. You see, when you're constantly talking about your problems, constantly maintaining contacts with those who reinforce your limitations, you're blind to the opportunities surrounding you. Let me share with you the deeper metaphysical reason why silence and cutting contacts are so crucial. In Scripture we read, "In returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength." This is not merely poetic language, it's a precise description of the law of consciousness. Thank you for listening. When you maintain silence and cut contacts with the old state, you're doing something profound. You're creating what I call a consciousness vacuum. Nature must fill this vacuum, but it can only fill it with whatever corresponds to your assumed state. Consider this principle. Every person in your life is a mirror reflecting back to you your state of consciousness. When you maintain contacts with those who knew you in your old state, you're constantly being reminded of who you were, not who you desire to be. This is why cutting contacts is not an act of rejection, but an act of spiritual wisdom. I remember a teacher who came to me. She had been trying to manifest a position at a prestigious university, but she kept herself surrounded by colleagues who knew her as a struggling substitute teacher. Every conversation, every interaction, every relationship reinforced her current state. She understood these principles and did something that seemed radical to others. She quietly withdrew from her regular social circles. She stopped attending teachers' gatherings where the conversation centered around limited opportunities. She cut contact with those who consistently reminded her of her current circumstances. Instead, she went into what I call the silence of assumption. In this silence, free from the constant reinforcement of her old state, she lived completely in the assumption of being a distinguished professor. She didn't tell anyone about this inner transformation. She didn't seek validation. She simply lived in the silence of her fulfilled desire. Here's what you must understand about the power of sacred insulation. When you isolate yourself from influences that contradict your desired state, you're not being antisocial, you're being spiritually wise. Just as a scientist must create a controlled environment for certain experiments, a controlled environment in consciousness for your transformation. Let me introduce you to what I call the 7 seals of silence. The first seal is physical withdrawal, removing yourself from environments that reinforce the old state. The second seal is social disconnection, cutting contacts with those who know you only as you were. The third seal is conversational silence, refusing to discuss your transformation or desire. The fourth seal is mental quietude, silencing the internal dialogue about your past state. The fifth seal is emotional stillness, maintaining calm confidence in your assumption. The sixth seal is spiritual insulation, protecting your consciousness from doubt and disbelief. The seventh seal is complete absorption, living entirely in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Each of these seals must be maintained if you wish to complete your transformation. Wrecking even one seal can allow the old state to seep back into your consciousness. Consider the biblical story of the 3 wise men. After they saw the Christ child, they were warned in a dream not to return to Herod. This is a psychological truth. Once you've conceived your new state, seeing the Christ child, you must not return to the old state, Herod. You must take another way home. Now let me share with you what I call the ultimate law of silent achievement. When you understand this law, you'll never again question the power of silence and selective contact. Every great achievement in history, every significant transformation, has followed this pattern of silence and sacred isolation. Think of Jesus going into the wilderness for 40 days. Think of Buddha leaving his palace in social circles. Think of every great inventor, artist, or visionary who withdrew from society to birth their creation. This is not coincidence, it's law. Let me tell you about my own experience with this principle. When I first discovered these truths, I didn't announce them to the world. I went into silence. I cut contacts with those who knew me as the old man. In that silence, in that sacred isolation, I experienced what I call the great knowing. Here's what you must do starting tonight. First, make a solemn covenant with yourself, a covenant of silence. No more discussing your desires, your plans, your transformations with anyone. Second, begin what I call the great withdrawal, systematically cutting contacts with those who hold you in your old state. But remember, this is not about physical isolation, it's about state isolation. You're not rejecting people, you're rejecting states of consciousness that no longer serve your transformation. I'll share with you the 5 commands of silent power. Thou shalt not speak of thy desire to anyone. Thou shalt cut all contacts that anchor thee to the old state. Thou shalt live completely in the silence of thy wish fulfilled. Thou shalt not return to check on thy progress. Thou shalt maintain thy silence until thy manifestation is complete. These commands are not suggestions, they are spiritual laws that must be obeyed if you wish to transform your reality. Consider this final principle I call the law of silent emergence. Just as a butterfly emerges from its cocoon, only when its transformation is complete, you should only re-emerge into the world, when your new state is fully embodied. Let me tell you about the 3 signs of complete transformation. First, when your new state feels more natural than your old state. Second, when maintaining silence requires no effort. Third, when your old contacts naturally fall away or transform to match your new state. Remember, my dear friends, that silence is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of power. Cutting contacts is not the absence of relationship. It's the presence of spiritual wisdom. As we conclude tonight's talk, I want to leave you with this final truth. Your world is your consciousness pushed out. Every person, every circumstance, every condition in your life is there because of the state you occupy. When you change your state in silence, when you cut contacts with the old state, you automatically change your world. Go forth now in doubt, not in fear, but in the absolute knowing that as you maintain your silence, as you cut contacts with the old state, your transformation must manifest. It's law. Remember these words from Scripture. Be still and know that I am God. This stillness, this silence, this sacred isolation, this is your path to transformation. And now, my dear wonderful friends, as we close this evening, take with you this solemn truth. Your silence is your power. Your withdrawal from the old state is your pathway to the new. Maintain this silence, maintain this sacred isolation, and watch as your world transforms to match your silent assumption. For in the end, it is not in the noise of the world, but in the silence of your consciousness that all things are created. It is not in maintaining old contacts, but in sacred isolation, that transformation occurs. Go now in silence and confidence in the absolute knowing that what you desire is already yours. For in consciousness all things are possible to him who believes and maintains the silence of that belief. Good night and God bless you all.